Welcome to the Breathe Self Leadership Podcast. Whether you are joining live or watching on replay, you are at the right place at the right time. This podcast was created as an invitation to slow down, to reflect, and to lead yourself with wisdom before leading anyone else. I am the founder and host, Dr. Obioma Martin, and I'm so glad that you're here. This is not a space of pressure, it's a space of formation. For those of you who are meeting me or this work for the first time, I want to ground us in what the BREATHE acronym means. Believe that wisdom is available to you. Release the need to rush, prove, or defend. Embrace the season you are in without resistance. Accept responsibility for your inner posture. Take action from alignment, not anxiety. Heal where urgency has wounded. And elevate into the next level with clarity and peace. Every episode of this podcast will return us to one or more of these principles because self-leadership is not about speed, it's about governance. Today, we're beginning one of the most foundational principles of BREATHE, the wisdom of restraint. Part 1. The seat you don't rush. Proverbs 25 gives us a powerful image. It says it is better to be invited to the head table than to be asked to move in front of everyone. That would be pretty embarrassing. You seat yourself at the table. I think that's probably happened to me in my younger days. Anyhow, it doesn't feel good when you self-select, where you self-appoint, and then you get removed in front of everyone. In scripture, seating represents authority. It represents influence. It represents readiness. Wisdom teaches us this. Self-leaders do not seat themselves prematurely. We wait for the invitation. If you rush elevation, you inherit pressure. And if you want alignment, you wait and you inherit grace. Some of us are frustrated not because we're behind, but because we're trying to access spaces that require maturity we're still developing. This is not condemnation. It's an invitation of trusting timing. And I know firsthand, I can remember many of times in my 20s where impulsivity had me running and proving and defending and doing all of these acrobats when they were not needed. Now that I'm wiser and I've lived life just a little bit, maturity has taught me to lean into grace. So I'm not sharing anything with you that I have not personally walked. As you listen, I invite you to quietly reflect on this. No answers out loud. Where in your life right now you find yourself positioning instead of honoring the process? Where in your life right now do you find yourself rushing to a position, rushing for positioning instead of trusting the process? Proverbs 25 also warns us not to rush into arguments or explanations. Oh, I can remember when I used to be hot-headed as a leader, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. Again, all of the lessons that I learned in my 20s. 20 plus years later, I understand that my silence is never misinterpreted. No one can say I said something that I didn't say. Silence speaks volumes. Why? Because in this stage and season of my life, I understand the importance of my words, the weight and the value of my words, and how important it is to wait for the invitation for my thoughts to be shared. Self-leadership is emotional regulation. It's the discipline of pausing before reacting. Not every misunderstanding requires your voice. Not every conflict deserves your response. Haste is often fueled by fear of being misunderstood, overlooked, or misjudged. But leaders who are governed internally do not rush to defend themselves. Now, pause for a second and think about this. What conversation, message, or response have you tempted to rush right into? What conversation, message, or response have you attempted to rush right into? Now, think about this. In the end, what was the outcome? As a result of you rushing into that conversation, how did it land? What was the cost of your credibility? And did the response of the audience, of whosoever you were speaking to, move you forward in peace, promotion, elevation, or chaos? Now, wisdom tells us this. Wisdom has taught me this. When I don't like the ending, I need to change my response. I need to change my posture. This is where the B.R.E.A.T.H.E acronym becomes practical. In this moment, self-leadership may look like this: believing you don't have to force your way because you really don't, releasing urgency and the need to prove, embracing the process, accepting responsibility for your posture, taking action only when aligned, healing impatience, and elevating with wisdom, not haste. Now, I invite you to pause and finish this sentence privately. In this season, what is B.R.E.A.T.H calling you to slow down and do, or slow down and process? Now, as you're thinking about that, I want to share a declaration with you. I'm big on declarations. And you can watch the replay or rewind so that you can write this down. Here's my declaration that I'm sharing with you, and I invite you to adopt it for yourself. I do not rush what God is refining. I lead myself with wisdom. I trust timing over urgency. I choose alignment over anxiety. This episode marks the beginning of the Breathe Self Leadership Podcast. This is not a place of noise, it's a place of becoming. I invite you to return to this episode whenever you need permission to wait and lead yourself well. Thank you for being here live or on replay. Breathe is not a moment, it's a practice. Until next time, lead yourself well. Hi, I'm Dr. Obioma Martin, and I want to invite you to something truly amazing, the Believe Bigger 8-week group coaching program. I created this program for women who may not necessarily have the resources to work with me individually in executive coaching. However, you still deserve a space to grow, learn, and scale together. And this is why I created this space for us to come together for 8 weeks. We meet once a week online, and in that time, we focus on mindset mastery, discovering your purpose, stepping into your power, and showing up with presence as women leaders, CEOs, and mothers. The truth is, no matter your industry, we all face challenges that can feel isolated. But when we come together, we realize we're not alone. And it becomes crystal clear that it is okay to dream bigger and to believe bigger and to do it in a community that truly sees you. If you're ready to step into a space where your growth is nurtured and your journey is celebrated, join us today. Visit obioma.org and let's believe bigger together.